got someone very special to introduce, who needs absolutely no introduction. She's a comic, an actress, an author. Some of you may remember her as Debbie Downer from SNL. So live from the Songus Arena, it's Rachel Dratch.
Hello, class of 2012. Well, Lexington, your moment is here, in a place you dreamed about as long as you can remember. The Songus Arena in Lowell, Massachusetts. Ah, Lowell. The air is thick with memories here. Remember how we all used to hang out after school by the old textile mill? Those were some good times. Or on weekends, meeting friends at the smelting factory. Awesome. And of course, our senior prom at the die-cutting and mechanical bits manufacturing plant. Really special. If these jokes sound familiar to any faculty members, it's because I used them the only other time I did the LHS graduation speech back in 2000. Why did I wait 12 years to return here to the podium? Is it because my busy showbiz career of jet-setting and hanging out on yachts always had me booked on graduation weekend? No. Is it because I was already tied up all those years to the speeches in Lincoln, Bedford, or Acton, Boxborough Regional High? No way. I'm a Minuteman at heart. I know, it was probably so I could amass 12 years more of wisdom to share. Maybe I couldn't come back home again until I felt I had something new to say. No. The reason is simple. I waited 12 years because I figured there are very few families out there that have siblings 12 years apart. Odds are good none of you had a sibling graduating back in 2000, so none of you heard my speech back then, and I can use the exact same one today. And there's your first life lesson, boys and girls. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Hey, if you wanted inspired advice, you should have gotten the Dalai Lama. But you brought in a lazy actor. So that's what I'm here to tell you. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Shortcuts are your friends. And always, always feel free to plagiarize yourself. So here it is, the exact same speech I did back then. Young men and women of the class of 2012. You are setting off into a world of promise, a world of the future, a world of new technology. Why, I predict a world where we won't even have conversations anymore. We'll carry around small machines with us, and we can simply type it in whatever we want to say, eliminating human contact altogether. I also see a phenomenon taking over where we each set up a page on a computer to show the world our likes and dislikes, maybe photos of our dog. And this is how we will keep up with our friends. It will be called Face Page, or What's in My Head Book, or something like that. I haven't worked it out yet, but... Class of 2012, I see for you a world ever evolving. I even predict that in our lifetimes, we will see the first African-American president in the White House. Wow, I was good. Okay, I'll try to come up with something new to say and not stick to my old speech. I suppose I do need to address these modern times. For one thing, back then when I did the speech, YouTube didn't exist, so I was only seen by the people in the audience. But now, with YouTube, I have to consider the fact that this speech could be seen by millions of people, and that is a lot of pressure on me. But on the bright side, I'm hoping to get a reality show out of this. Okay, so you don't have the Dalai Lama or Bill Clinton or Nelson Mandela here to give you wisdom. You have me, but you know what? Maybe that is a good thing. Those guys don't have the knowledge of what it's like to grow up in Lexington. I mean, could Nelson Mandela talk about going to the hockey games at Hayden? No. Would the Dalai Lama know about hanging out at Rangatories? No, he wouldn't. And could Bill Clinton tell you where the best place to party is in Lincoln Fields? Maybe. But I could go on about all these things. But instead of should probably try to give you some life advice as well. Besides, I think Lexington has changed a lot since I went to high school here. Back when I was here, people still had Boston accents. There was a fully sanctioned smoking area. And we went to the football games. But now, your National Science Bowl team won first place in the US. You can claim the #1 debater in the country, and your robotics team placed at Worlds? Yeah. We didn't have a robotics team, okay? What's happening to you guys? You're all a bunch of nerds. I better be nice to you though, or you'll send your robots after me. Okay, so on to the advice portion of the speech. Now, I don't want to use all the graduation cliches. You can do anything you set your mind to. Anything's possible. Follow your dreams. I mean, those cliches are for idiots, right? Except that I'm a walking example that those cliches are true. I did the thing I set my mind to, and I followed my dreams. So at this point, I have to say, if you have a dream you think might be too crazy, you might want to at least consider giving it a shot. Right now, all the parents are giving me the eyes of, no. Because many parents are not keen to hear their kid wants to be an actor, or a rock star, or a professional skateboarder. But I had a crazy far-fetched dream, and I slowly persevered. I went from class clown at LHS to Saturday Night Live. That's right, I turned my days of piping up one-liners during class into a career. At the time, my classroom comedy may have been much to the chagrin of my teachers, and I do apologize for that. Especially to my French teachers, I think. I never paid much attention in language class. The irony, though, is that all my teachers were wrong about me because I speak perfect, fluent French to this day. See? I turned my love of disrupting class into a focused study of improv comedy. I joined the improv group in college, I went up to Second City in Chicago, and finally on to Saturday Night Live. Now, this meteoric rise to success took 10 years, so know that the cliche of following your dreams could take a while, which presents another useful cliche. Stick with it! Yes, definitely stick with it. Unless you suck, then you should probably move on to something else. So, improv comedy, in case you don't know, is acting with no script whatsoever. It's doing a scene in front of an audience with no idea what you're going to say next. You have no plan, and it can be scary, but there are some basic rules that can guide you along so it's not quite as scary. And when I sincerely stopped to think about what advice I would want to have when I was in high school, I realized the best life advice I could give is the same advice I would give to someone who's trying to learn improv comedy. There are 3 basic guidelines, and I will tell you these 3 guidelines of how to be a good improv comedian, and in turn, before you know it, I will have told you how to be a good human being as well. So the first rule of improv is the concept of yes and, which basically means don't deny your partner. Accept whatever your partner says and add something to it. I'll elaborate. Let's say you're up on stage, you're about to do a scene, no idea where the scene's going. You ask the audience for a suggestion of a location. They yell out, the Burlington Mall. See how I customize the speech for you with a local reference? You don't get that with Nelson Mandela. So the audience yells out Burlington Mall, your partner starts the scene saying, here's that dress you wanted in a size 6. You should not say, I didn't ask you to bring me a dress, stop following me. You may get a quick laugh, but you've just denied the reality that your partner's created for the scene. Rather, you should yes and. That is, agree to what your partner said and add something to it. Example, here's that dress you wanted in a size 6. Thanks, Heather. Thanks for letting me use your employee discount again. I promise I will stop. This is the last time. Now you've accepted what your partner said as a gift. That is, you said yes to your partner, and then you added more layers to the scene. That's the and part. Agree and add your own contribution. You may be thinking, I've never acted a day in my life, and this has nothing to do with my achievements as captain of the science team. I'm talking to you, Julia Leon. But I've found the concept of yes and has seeped into my life off stage as well. I've learned from improv that it's much lazier and easier to simply deny someone's offering, to criticize and point out what's wrong with it, than to come up with an original idea yourself.